happy because we're going to record her. Yeah, I'm over here. Let's see, it's already recording. And I love that. Okay, so the training for today is extremely special because the idea of us and always what we want to give you every day or day after day is that this is possible for all the world, for the whole world. And that is what we are trying to do every time we do a training. Every training, please, just as a reminder, remember, if you speak English, you can have the translation. Remember, click in English on the translation so that you can have the service, just for you to know. So, this is the idea of these trainings for you to know that everyone can do it. Today I have Esteban and Juan Carlos. They got to presidential director and they're very close to get to the last rank of the company, to SPT. So the last time I introduced them into the group, of course, everyone started saying, wow, how did you do it? We also have leaders that have made it to executive director, senior executive director, and presidential. We've seen how the team has grown. And in this case, we said, why don't we just talk to Esteban and Juan Carlos Bordoño so they can explain and tell us how they tell you what they've been doing, the strategies. I know Esteban and Juan Carlos because of Rodrigo Garduño, the owner of the 54 Gem, which is his brother. When they started being in our team since day one, they showed such leadership. They have the experience, but it's people who don't rest. When I tell them that, or when I tell you what one of the more intense members of the team is them, it's the truth. Since day one, they gave everything, but I'm not going to tell you about it. What I'm going to do, the activity that we're going to use is like Q&A. I'm going to be asking questions to them, and obviously I would love if you could put some questions there for me to ask them in the chat. But again, the intention is to learn and duplicate. Just the way as Jay, my husband Carlos, and me, as Dr. España, Mariana Mercado, Maria Luis Servio, Carla Sanchez, like every single person that has participated, everyone that has shared what they've done, the idea of this is always to observe and duplicate. Let's take notes. I'm going to be taking notes as well because we learned from everyone, but the most important thing is not to receive the information. It's, as I always say, it's to applicate it immediately. And I assure you that that's one of the characteristics that's most predominant in Esteban and Juan Carlos. So first, I'm going to talk to Esteban Merizalde. Esteban, where are you? You can open your own mic. I'm over here.
¿Cómo tú estás? Gracias, de verdad que sí.
How are you? Yes.
Bueno, yo contentísimo, contento
Well,
de estar
I'm
aquí,
super,
Rachel.
super happy of
Quiero
being here,
felicitarles a
Rachel.
todas
I
las
want
personas
to
que se están
congratulate
conectando,
you
a todas
to
las
every single
mexicanas
person
de
that's
diferentes
logging
partes
in,
del mundo,
everyone in the
y
different
a ti sobre
countries,
todo y a tu
and
esposo por
you,
haber
of
creado este
course,
increíble
and your
movimiento y
husband
haber
for
tomado la
creating this
decisión de
great
arrancar.
team and
Gracias a ustedes.
started.
Pienso que
Thank
nosotros
you.
también estamos aquí.
And thanks to
Yo
you, I
pienso
think
que
that
eso
we're
es
here
parte de lo
too.
más
I think that
importante
this is part of the
toda la
most
gente que está
important
aquí puede
that
sentir,
everyone can
que la
feel,
decisión
that
de
the
iniciar
decision of
va a
starting
impactar
it's
la
going
vida de
to
alguien. No
impact
importa
someone's
cuántos,
life. It doesn't matter how
lo que
many
importa es que
people
siempre va a
impacts.
impactar la
What
vida de
matters is
alguien.
that it's always going to
Y
impact
eso es
someone's
bien
life.
importante que la
And
gente
that
sienta
is
eso
very important for
porque
people to
a
know
veces
that or
cuando
to feel
invitamos a
that.
las
Because
personas
sometimes when
sentimos
we
que
invite
queremos
people, we
venderle algo,
feel
pero
like we
cuando
want to
realmente
sell them
tomas una
something, but
decisión
when
porque
you
sabes lo que
really make a
tienes,
decision
es
because you know what you
compartir
have,
algo
is
y
to
ese
share
agradecimiento de
something,
impacto después va a
and
tener una
that
consecuencia, ¿no? Así que gracias
thankfulness is what's going
por
to
esa
have
invitación
a consequence. So thank
indirecta,
you so
porque al
much
final
for
de
this
cuentas hay veces que
indirect invitation, because
uno
at
está
the end of the
suponiendo
time,
invitando
you know,
porque está
you
buscando la
invite yourself
oportunidad,
because you're looking for
pero
the
si no hubieran
opportunity.
hecho ustedes
But
lo
if
que ustedes
you
hicieron, nunca
wouldn't have
hubieran
done what you
inspirado
did,
a que
wouldn't
también
have
yo pueda
taught
estar ahí ahorita.
us to be. Thank you. Thank you. Um, God gave us this opportunity in our hands, but I would like to start. I want you to I want people to know you. You're a man that has experience networking of live wave. So I would love if you could transmit what you saw live way external in this movement
bien, como lo mencionas,
that you mentioned, you
determinar
could
inmediatamente
determine
en el mercado
immediately,
latino no ha
it's
llegado, tenemos
not
una gran oportunidad, tenemos una
in the market.
apertura,
We have an
un lugar
opening, we
donde
have a
me puedo,
place
un
in
mercado
which,
donde podemos
or
movernos y
someone in
llegar,
which we
impactar,
can
que al
move
final es
and
lo que todos
impact
estamos buscando.
pe- people, which is
Como dije,
characteristic team and the people that I
Sí,
can bring.
y pienso que fue muy clave. Hay cien ya,
I know I'm familiarized with
por
multi-level
lo
for
tanto,
many years.
empresas es lo que más
So
hay. Productos muy buenos,
companies,
líderes muy buenos, planes de
a lot of
compensación muy
products, a
buenos. El caso
lot
es
of
que yo me
leaders, a
puedo
lot of
enfocarme en
compensations plans. So
cuatro
I want to
pilares que creo
focus
que
on
compañía
that
realmente
a
es una
company
buena
can have
oportunidad.
for me to
Me
decide if it's a good
enfocaría
opportunity.
en el
And I would
producto, me
focus on the
enfocaría, por
product. I would
supuesto, en la
focus, of
empresa,
course, in the
el plan
company,
de
in the
compensación y el
compensation
sistema de
plan
soporte,
system. That will be
básicas a las
four
que
basic
pondría mi
things in
atención.
which I would
Cuando se
focus
trate
on.
del
When
producto,
it's about the
hablaría
product,
primero
then I would
si es
talk
algo que a
about
la
if it's
gente
something that
realmente le gusta.
people
O sea, si
really
es un
like,
producto que la
if it's a
gente cuando
product
lo
that
usa
when people
siente
uses it, then
algún
they
tipo de
feel
resultado
some sort of a
positivo.
result or a
Segundo,
positive
si es que la
result.
gente necesita el
Second,
producto,
if the
que
people
la gente
need
lo
the product,
necesite.
if they
Tercero,
need it.
si es que es
Third,
viable el
if
precio del producto.
it's
Y cuarto,
good, the
cuál es
relation
la
between the
retención
cost
del
and the
producto que
product, and
existe.
what's the
Pues
retention of the
basada en
product that
esas cuatro
exists. So based
características
on
del producto,
those four
el
characteristics of
X39
the
cumplió las
product,
cuatro.
the
En primer
X39
lugar, tuvo un resultado
has
increíble
four of
con
them on a
uno
great
ya
result in the
está
first 4 hours.
normalizando escuchar
You're
esto, los que estamos
normalizing
aquí, pero
this,
no los que están
what
allá
we are
afuera.
here, but not the ones that are out
Entonces,
there.
no
So
dejen de admirarse
don't
y no
stop
dejen de
admiring
emocionarse
yourself and getting
por la cantidad
excited
de
for the
testimonios y
amount of
resultados que
testimonies and
existen con el
results
producto que
that there
tenemos,
are with the product
porque
that
no
we
es
have,
normal.
because it's
Y
not
detrás de un
normal.
gran producto,
And
como siempre
behind a
digo,
great
puede haber
product, as
siempre
I
una gran
always say,
oportunidad, dependiendo
can
desde qué
be a
lado lo
great
ves, ¿no?
opportunity
Eso es
depending
lo
on what
increíble de
side
esta
you're looking
industria,
at it from.
que todo el
That's
mundo
the
tiene la
incredible part
misma
of this
oportunidad,
industry, that
mismo
everyone
plan de
has the same
compensación,
opportunity,
mismo
the
producto,
same
misma
compensation
mega
plan, same
compañía,
product,
porque en verdad tenemos
same
una
mega
compañía
company, because we
triple A,
really
triple
truly
A
have
plus,
a
una
triple A
empresa en
plus
todos
company,
los
a
sentidos de la
company
palabra, donde
in
puedes poner
the
con orgullo
extension
tu
of the
nombre,
word in
tu
which you
apellido
can put
y que
your
puedes
name
saber
and
que
your last
puedes
name
crear
with
un
pride, and you
legado
know that you
verdadero
can
si es que
create
te
a
lo
true
propones.
legacy if you want
Y
to.
cuando vimos del producto
And
que
when we
funcionó
saw
tan
the product that
rápido,
it worked so
no
fast,
quiere decir que a todo el mundo le va
that
a
doesn't mean
funcionar tan
that it's going
rápido.
to work
Todo,
so
todo
fast for
cuerpo es distinto,
everyone.
pero
Everybody is
empezamos a ver
different.
tantos
But we
testimonios y
started to
investigando un
see
poco
so many
y realmente nos
testimonies, and we
sorprendimos que
investigated
algo
a little, and
holístico,
we got really
que
surprised
algo
that
que
something
de alguna
holistic,
forma
that's
no es
something that in a
medicamento,
way it's not a
que no,
medication,
no tiene ningún tipo
that
de ni siquiera
it doesn't
nutrientes
have
como
any kind
tal,
of nutrients as such,
tenga este resultado. Me acuerdo que con Juan Carlos le dije, oye,
has
¿y
this result.
FDA
I
ya qué
remember
tiene?
telling Juan
Y me
Carlos,
dice, pues déjame
I don't
preguntar.
see it has
Seguramente él te
FDA. And
preguntó a
he says,
ti
well, let me
y de
ask.
repente era
Surely he
como,
asked you. And
sí, porque
suddenly
no es
he was like,
medicamento, porque no es
yes,
alimento.
because it's not
Entonces,
a
¿qué es?
medication,
Es
because
una
it's not food.
tecnología.
So what is it?
Y la
It's a
sorpresa de
technology.
saber que es una
And
tecnología,
the
que a mí me
surprise
encanta
of knowing
aparte
that
la
it's
tecnología,
technology, that
es
I
saber
love
que
technology, of course, it's to
estábamos a
know
punto
that
de entrar
we
en
were
un
about
producto, en un
to
proyecto
go in
que
a
tenía una
project, a
tecnología
product that
holística,
had
pero al
a
mismo tiempo tenía
holistic
una patente. Y cuando hablas de patente,
property
te
and
hablas de
also a
no
patent.
duplicación,
And
de
when
no
you talk about
competencia.
patent, then you
Algo muy
talk about no
importante porque esta
competition,
industria
something very important because this
se ha vuelto cada
industry
vez,
has
digamos
become,
que no más sencillo
let's
tener
say,
empresas, pero
not
cada vez hay
simpler
más.
to
La
have
gente entendió
companies, but there
que
are
el
more and
network
more every
marketing
time.
es la
The
mejor
people
manera de
understood
poder
that
llegar
network
a
marketing is the best
posicionar un
option
producto o un
to
servicio en el
be
mundo
able
entero.
to put a service out
Y
there to the
obviamente lo hacen
world.
empresas
And
todos
of
los
course,
días.
there are
Por lo
companies
tanto, productos
starting every
duplicables
day, and
existen todos
so
los días también.
products that you
Conozco
can
fábricas de
duplicate, they
empresas que
exist
le
every
hacen
day. I
manufactura a cientos de
know
marcas con
manufacturers
diferentes
that makes
nombres
products to
y que
hundreds
simplemente
of
por cambiar el
brands with
nombre
different names, and just
termina
because they change
siendo
the
una
name,
oportunidad de
they
negocio con un plan
have
de
a
compensación
new
distinto,
different
con un
business with a
liderazgo
different
distinto,
compensation
que al
plan with
final no
different
quiere decir que esté
leadership, and
mal,
at the end,
pero
doesn't
si
mean it's wrong.
queremos
But if
sobresalir
we want
y
to
si tú
stand
quieres
out,
decirte
and if you want to
en
tell
que
yourself
verdaderamente tienes
and
buena
that you
productividad
really
como
have
no
an
tiene cualquier
opportunity
persona en el
that
mundo,
no
tienes que
one
tener un
else
producto que no
has,
sea
you have to
duplicable.
have a product that you
Entonces el
cannot copy.
X39,
So
por
X39,
supuesto que
of
nos marcó en
course,
ese sentido. Y por el otro lado,
made a difference to us in
el
that
saber
way.
que
And
empezó a tener
also
ya con
to
el
the
tiempo,
fact that we
o más bien
knew
me estoy
that we
adelantando,
started
pero
having,
sí me
or well,
estoy
I'm
adelantar,
getting
que me
ahead of
empezó a
myself, but
sorprender
I do want to
los
say that I got surprised at the beginning because people from our team, they start using it with Juan Carlos was like, hey, this is impressive. We didn't stop saying that it was impressive, that the results are really fast, very different than everyone else's. And of course, after you analyze a lot of things like the company, the big surprise was like the company was like 20 years in the company in the market without even heard of LiveWave. I've never heard the name before. You start doing a little bit of research, and every time you see more things, and you see a global company, you see a company that got awarded with the Bravo Awards with the direct sales with the States. A company from $20 million got to $3,100 in 2024 for the double. And for us, knowing that a company is starting to grow, but we have the Hispanic market for the Spanish speakers is an opportunity that you don't get every day. That's another of the things that we always say with Juan Carlos is this is a weird opportunity because you don't know about this all the time. You don't hear about this all the time about a company that has all of these characteristics together. And that besides that is an opportunity to position yourself there. Because when they say that to make any additional income, then you can have any company. But to make millions, then you have to get there in the right time. And that is when there's nothing built, when the best is yet to come. In many years to come, someone is going to say, these people from Zoom on January and February 2025, they were very lucky because they got here first. So I just want you to clap, just give a big applause because you are the first ones who have the opportunity and the vision to be in the right moment with the right team, with the right product, with the right compensation plan. But the most important is that if everything is ready, then the action level that you have to want and you have to create. So that's just a little bit to answer. I know Juan Carlos is here too. He can answer too and simultaneously the same because at the end we're partners. But probably he has a lot of things to say. Yes, he's right here.
Co-host para que tú puedas abrirte
Juan Carlos, I'm making you co-host so you can open your microphone if you can. I was talking to Esteban two questions that I asked him. What did you see in LifeWay in X39? He said, or that made him think, yes, people like you have that experience, and from day one, you have seen like all in. Definitely. You just came in and took it all. I'm going to go to the action plan in a minute, but of course, you can talk to us a little bit about that, about your experience, but also what was that action plan when you already decided? I know you work in a wonderful unit with Rodrigo. What was that action plan that you started to make out and to design in which you said, okay, I see what we have, the experience with the external, and I would like you to tell us about it, and the team could hear about your personal experience. I'm right here. The man of the energy.
¿Me escuchan bien? Bueno, hola
Can you hear
primero.
me okay? Well, hello, first of all. I'm so happy to talk to so many people who are here. I'm so glad to be able to participate with you, Rochelle and Carlos, even though he's not here, with my dear Esteban, with my brother Rodrigo, we're partners and brothers, and we do everything together. And for me, is such a great honor to be able to talk to all of this group of entrepreneurs that are here looking for or connected, logged in to look for or hoping to hear something that can probably move the needle up a little bit. Someone is asking me if I'm speaking Italian. I don't know why. No, it's perfect. Sounds perfect. It's just I got a pop-up message saying that you're recording in Italian. No, right? I don't know if it's the IA, but I just saw a message asking me if I was talking in Italian. That's crazy. And now, right here, up here, it says IT. Well, I don't know. It's okay.
El
They're all
caso
hearing
es
Spanish.
que, el caso
Well, the
es
thing is,
que
point
yo,
is
bueno, esta profesión cambió mi
that,
vida,
well, this profession
mi querida
changed my
Rachel. Hace
life, my dear
18 años yo
Rachel,
vengo
18 years
de
ago.
una familia
I come from a
clase media en donde nos
family, middle
educaron
class,
para
in which
y lo que educaron
we got
al
raised
99.9%
to
de las personas del mundo, que
do
es a estudiar
the
durante
same
25
thing
años para después
of the rest of
tener
the
un
people,
título con el
study
cual
during
tengas
25 years to have a
el
title,
permiso o la
for you to have like the
autorización de
permission or the
vender lo más valioso
authorization
que tienes
to
a
sell
una empresa
the
que
most
te va a
valuable
pagar
thing
lo
you
menos
have
que
to a
tú estés
company that
dispuesto a
is
aceptar.
going to pay
Así me
you the
educaron a
less
mí y
amount that you're
probablemente a
willing to
ti y
accept.
probablemente a
I got raised
todos
that
los
way,
que
and
nos
probably
están
you too,
escuchando
and
acá.
probably
Si
everyone
yo
else
fui el
hearing
que,
this call.
yo vi a mis papás
I
pasarle a mal de
saw
dinero toda la
my
santa vida.
parents have
Toda mi vida
issues
los
with
vi
money
pasarla
all of
mal de
my
dinero
life.
y
All
estoy
of my
completamente
life had
convencido
issues
que
with
la
money.
clase
And I'm
media del
completely
mundo
convinced that the middle
mantiene
family,
y
the
paga
middle class
impuestos y
family
mantiene las economías de prácticamente
pays
todos los países del
taxes
mundo
and
porque somos
supports
la
the
clase
economy of
trabajadora,
every
somos la
single
clase
country in the world
que,
because we're the
que
working
somos las
class.
hormigas que
We
salen
are
a
the
hacer lo
ants
que
that go
somos los que
out
salimos a
and
hacer mover
do
pues, la economía, el mercado,
everything, move
absolutamente
the
todo.
economy, the
Pero
market, and
tampoco se
absolutely
necesita ser muy
everything. But
inteligente, mi querida
you don't need
Rachel,
to
para
be
darse
that
cuenta
smart to notice
que cuando eres empleado,
that when you're an
no
employee,
importa en qué trabajes,
it doesn't matter
no
what you
importa
do
cuál sea
for
la
work,
empresa,
or what doesn't
no
matter
importa
what the
cuál sea tu
company is.
título,
It doesn't matter
un
what your
empleado
title is.
toda
An
la vida va a
employee,
estar dando
the whole
vueltas en el
life
mismo
is going
lugar.
to be spinning around in the
Toda
same
la
place.
vida va a
All of
estar
his
dando
life
vueltas en
is
el
going to
mismo
be
lugar.
going in
Yo no sé si eso
circles
se
in the
escuchó o
same
no,
place. I don't
pero
know if you heard that or not, but I hope so.
que se
I
escuche y
hope
que les
you
retumbe
heard
en la
it, and I
cabeza a quien
hope
le tenga
that
que
it just
retumbar.
resonates in
Los
your head.
empleos no son un vehículo y no están diseñados para llevar a
Companies,
nadie
well,
a ningún lugar. En el
employment is
momento en
not
que un ser
a
humano tiene la
transportation, and they're
claridad
not
de
going to take
esto,
us anywhere. As
entonces
soon
es
as
cuando uno
a
decide
human being has a
emprender
clarity on this,
y es cuando uno
then that's
decide
when you
buscar otras
decide
cosas.
to
A
do
mí
it
me
on
pasó
your
hace
own and to look
25
for other
años.
things.
Hace
That
25
happened to
años
me
junto con mi
25
hermano nos
years ago.
convertimos en
25 years ago,
emprendedores
along with my
actuales, pero
brother,
hace
we
18
became
años, o
entrepreneurs.
sea, fíjate
But
la diferencia
18
para que
years
todo el
ago,
mundo lo
look at the
tenga claro.
difference so that
Hace
everyone
25
can
años
understand this
decidimos
clearly.
convertirnos en emprendedores
25 years
empresarios
ago,
porque
we
conocimos
decided to
personas, yo
become
me di perfectamente
entrepreneurs
cuenta después de
because
17
I
años de empleado
noticed
que
after
es
being
una
an
trampa
employee
sin
for seven
salida y que
years
jamás,
that is an
jamás
endless trap,
habría
and that I would
nada
have
para mí
never,
más que
I would have
vivir
never gotten
sobreviviendo de una
anything
quincena
from
a
there
otra. Cuando tienes
except
esa claridad,
living from
tienes
one
ganas de una
paycheck to
vida
the
mejor,
next. When you want that, when
tomas
you have that
decisiones.
mentality, when you
Nosotros
want a better
agarramos
life,
hace
you make
25 años,
decisions.
hicimos
We made
negocios
those decisions 25
tradicionales
years
y
ago.
te tengo una
We
noticia
created
para todos
traditional
los que nunca
businesses,
hayan puesto
and
un
I
negocio
have a news for
tradicional.
you.
Los negocios
The
tradicionales son
traditional businesses
casi la
are
misma cochinada que un
almost the
trabajo
same, better
porque
than a
cuesta
job,
muchísimo dinero
because
ponerlos.
it's
Te
too
vuelves
expensive
empleado de
to
tu
set them
propio
up.
negocio
You
y
become an
aunque
employee of
sean
your
tres
own business,
negocios que les va
and
bien,
even if it's
es
a
muy
business that is doing
difícil
good, it's
salir adelante
very
porque generas
hard
muy
to
poquito
make
dinero.
it because they make
Ese
some
fue el caso
little
mío y
amount
mi
of money.
hermano.
That was my case with
Pusimos
my
negocios
brother.
tradicionales
We
que
created
costaron
traditional businesses that costed a lot,
mayor parte de las personas que tienen ganas de poner un negocio
and for
y no
example,
logran salir
people want
adelante.
to
Hace
set up a
18 años
business
llegó
and
esta
they
profesión a
don't
nuestra
make it
vida
out.
y nos
18
cambió
years ago,
la
this
vida
came to our
por
life, and this
completo.
changed
¿Y
our
sabes por qué
life
nos cambió la vida por
completely. And you
completo?
know why?
Porque nos cambió la mentalidad.
Because it
Y porque
changed
por
our
primera
mentality,
vez
our
en nuestra
mindset. And
vida,
because for the
si
first
en algún
time
momento me
in
dejas de
our life,
escuchar, por
if for
favor
some
me
reason you
dices,
stop
porque no
hearing me,
sé
please let me
con
know
la
because
conexión que
I
estoy
don't know with the
manejando.
No, se
connection that I
oye un
have here in
poquito
Miami.
como cortado, amigo.
Yeah,
De vez en cuando
it's a
se
little
corta
bit
un
choppy
poquito, pero está
sometimes,
bien.
but it's
Lo
fine.
que me gustaría,
What
Juanqui,
I
lo que
would
me
like,
gustaría es
Funky, what I
para...
would like from you.
Sí, dale,
Ahí
dale,
voy ahí.
dale.
Ahí voy ahí. Te voy a decir
Yeah,
algo
I'm
a ti y
going
a tu
to get
gente
there. I'm going to
y a
tell
todo el
you and
equipo
your people
maravilloso que está
something, and all
conectado
of this wonderful team that is
que
logged in here
probablemente no hayan escuchado y por eso estoy
that
dando
probably
toda
you
esta
haven't heard, and
explicación.
that's why I'm explaining all of this.
Entonces cuando llegó esto,
So
nos cambió la
when
vida porque nos
we saw
obligó,
this for the first
Rachel,
time,
y
it
atención con
changed
esto
our
porque
life
todo el mundo
because
tiene
it
que tener
made
claro,
us, and
porque nos
attention with this because
obligó a
everyone has to have
convertirnos
this
en alguien
clear,
que no éramos.
because it
Esta
made us
profesión es
become
la profesión
someone
más
who
bella
we
y mejor
weren't.
pagada del mundo
This
porque te
is the most
obliga
beautiful
a
profession in the world
convertirte en
because it
alguien que no
makes you to
eres,
become
te
someone
obliga
who
a
you're not.
desarrollar
It
habilidades,
makes you to
te
develop
obliga a convertirte en
abilities,
un
and it
mejor
makes you
papá, en
to
un mejor
become
esposo, en
a
una
better
mejor
dad, a
pareja, en
better
un mejor
husband,
hijo,
a
en una
better
mejor
partner, a
ciudadano,
better son, a
en
better
una mejor
citizen,
persona, porque
and a better person.
verdaderamente
Because if you truly want to have success, then you have to become all of this. That is something so very, very important. And that's what made us become. And at the end, it worked for us in a very impressive way. But there's something amazing that you say. You came here and took everything. And you know what? For just one reason that people sometimes has difficulty to understand. People take years or months, and this is the key for everything. This is what I'm gonna say is a $1 million advice so that you can have it right there. Write it down. Can you hear me okay?
Sí, te escuchamos.
Yes, we can hear you.
La gente llega a un
Okay,
negocio como
people
esto
get to a business like this
y en su cabeza
and in their
es algo
minds,
poco digno.
it's something
Es algo que de lo que no me enorgullece hablar,
undignified. It's something that
porque
I'm
la
not proud
sociedad
of talking about because
considera que si hago
society
multinivel,
considers that if
soy
I do
alguien
multi-level,
que
I
no
am
debería de estar muy
someone
orgulloso. A lo
who
mejor no le
shouldn't
quedó
be
de
very
otra, a lo
proud.
mejor no
Maybe they didn't
estudió
have another
y por eso
option.
está
Maybe they
haciendo
didn't go to
multinivel.
school, and
Y en
that's
mi
why they're doing
percepción,
multi-level.
en mi
And in my
propia
perception, in
percepción de
my
lo
own
que hago,
perspective
es
of what
poco
I do,
digno y no
is
me da orgullo.
not worthy. And
Y
it's
como
not
es
a
poco
matter of
digno y no me
feeling
da
proud.
mucho
And it's since
orgullo,
not worthy and I'm not feeling
bueno, pues
proud of
sí,
it,
es que
then yeah, okay, it's just
vendo unos parches
well, I
y,
sell
y
some
este
patches
y a lo
and
mejor si los
maybe
pruebas,
if you try
tal
them,
vez te vaya,
maybe
te sirvan de
it'll be
algo
good for you
porque
in a
pues
way
sí, son muy
because
buenos.
but yeah, they're really good and
La gente le da pánico hablar de esto
people
porque
start
no tengo
panicking
un
to talk
título
about this because I don't
profesional
have
que me
a
haga ver, que me haga ver
degree
ante los
that
demás como algo
make me
digno,
seem before
porque la
others like
gente le da
something worthy
muchísimo
because
orgullo haber
people are
estudiado
feeling
una
very
o dos
proud
o tres carreras
having
y una
one or
maestría
two
y
or
un
three
doctorado
majors and a
y ganar
master's
tres
and a
pesos.
doctorate degree
Eso sí me da
and get
orgullo,
three pesos.
porque
I'm
entonces
proud
tengo
of
un
that
título colgado en la
because then
pared que
I
dice que me
have a
pasé
title
9,
hanging
10
on the
años de mi
wall
vida
that's
en
saying
una
that I spent
universidad
9 or 10 years of
maestría
my life in
que el día de
college
hoy
and in a
no
master's
sirve
degree
de
that
absolutamente
today
nada,
doesn't
pero
work
eso sí,
at
me
all.
llena de
But of
orgullo
course, I'm
decirlo.
very proud of that,
Me
and
llena
I'm
de
very proud to
orgullo
say I'm
decir que
very
soy
proud to
doctor
say that I
y que
am
tengo
a
maestrías y
doctor and
doctorados
that
y
I
les
have
llevo
a
5 años
master's and
desempleado.
doctor's degree,
Pero
but
eso
I
sí,
have
es
been
digno.
5 years without a
Eso
job,
sí
but
es
that's
digno.
worthy.
Haber estudiado tanto tiempo
Having
sí es
going to
digno.
school
Tener
for
los
so
títulos sí es
long, it's
digno.
worthy.
Y en
Having
mi
the titles is worthy.
autopercepción
And in my
es algo
self-perception
que me da
is
orgullo
something
decir, aunque
that I
gane
feel
3
proud of
pesos.
saying, even though I make the minimum.
Pero no me da
But
orgullo decir
I
que
don't
estoy
feel proud
vendiendo
about
una
saying that I'm
tecnología
selling this technology
y que vendo
and
online
that I
porque
sell
yo
things
fui
online
director,
because I
director de un banco.
was
¿Y cómo el
director of a
director de un
bank. And
banco
how
que
is possible
estudió
that the
en
director of the
Chavario ese
bank that
colegio y pagó
went to
millones de
who
dólares
knows what
por
college and
ese
paid
título?
millions of
¿Cómo voy a
dollars for that
terminar
title,
capaz vendiendo
how am I
cosas
going to
online?
end up
¿Qué van a
selling
decir de
things
mí?
online?
¿Qué
What
va a
is
decir mi
people going to
mamá?
say
¿Qué
about
va a
me?
decir
What is
mi
my mom
papá?
going to
¿Qué
say
va a
about me?
decir mi
What my dad is going
esposa
to say? What my wife is
de
going to
mí?
say about me?
Que
That
terminé
I ended up
vendiendo
selling
productos en
products
internet. Tal vez
online,
ustedes no se habían dado
maybe
cuenta
you
que
didn't
el hombre más
notice
rico del
that the
planeta, que
richest
se
man
llama
in
Jeff
the
Bezos o
world,
el
Jeff
segundo,
Bezos, or the second one,
vende
sells
productos y
products
servicios
and
en una
services
plataforma online.
in an online
Y yo
platform.
no creo
And I
que
don't
Jeff
think
Bezos
that Jeff
llegue a ningún
Bezos
lugar
goes to
sintiéndose
any place
menos digno
feeling
por
less
vender cosas
worthy
online.
just because he
Y
sells
el
things
99
online. And 99
sentir orgullo por lo que hace,
to feel
tener
proud about what
postura
they do,
ante lo que hace,
to have a
caminar
stand for what you do,
perfectamente derecho
to walk
cualquier plaza
perfectly
donde quiera que
straight
entre, sabiendo
anywhere
que
you
lo que
go in,
hace lleva luz,
knowing that what you
esperanza y
do
oportunidad a
has
todos los
light,
rincones del
hope,
mundo. Y las
and takes it to
personas
every single part
que
of the world.
hacen esto
And people who
se
does
sienten
this
menos,
feel
les da
less.
pena
They feel embarrassed
que los
for them to be
critiquen, que los
criticized or
señalen,
pointed
que se
out or be
rían de
laughed
ellos.
at
De
of
mí,
me.
damas y
Ladies
caballeros,
and
llevan
gentlemen,
burlándose
my
mis amigos,
friends, my
mis
best
mejores
friends have
amigos,
been mocking
los
me
18 años que
during the
llevo haciendo
18
multinivel y les tengo
years
una
that I've been
noticia.
in the multi-level.
Ni uno
And
solo
let
de
me
mis
tell
amigos
you,
le
not
ha
even
ido ni el
one
5% de
of
bien lo
my
que
friends
me ha ido a mí.
has made the
Yo vengo,
5%
yo
of
vengo
what
de
I
la clase
made.
media en donde no había dinero
I'm
para
from the
nada,
middle
para
class in
absolutamente
which
nada.
we didn't have any money for
Hoy
nothing, for
conozco el planeta
absolutely nothing.
entero.
And today I
El
know the
planeta
whole
entero.
planet.
Obviamente me
The
faltan
whole
algunos
planet. Of
países.
course, I'm missing
El
some
planeta
countries.
entero gracias a esta
The whole
profesión.
planet, thanks to this
Jamás en
profession.
mi vida había yo ido
Never
siquiera
in my life
a un evento importante.
I
Hoy he ido a
went
todos los
to an important
mundiales,
event. Today
a
I've seen
todos,
every single
gracias a esta
game.
profesión. He
Thanks
ido a
to
todas
this
las finales de la
profession.
Champions League
I've
por
seen
esta
every
profesión.
final
He
of the
ido a
Champions
todo, a
League
los
for
mejores
this
restaurantes.
profession,
He
to the
podido hacer
best
cosas
restaurant,
que
and
no
I've been able
estaban
to do
diseñadas para
things
alguien que
that
nace
were
en la
not
clase media,
designed for someone
que
who's born
nunca me
in the
hubieran
middle
pasado.
class, that would have never
Claro,
happened
me he
to me.
tenido
Of
que
course,
tragar
I've
la
had to
burla.
swallow the
Ay, el de
mockery
Tupperware,
and
me dicen
the
mis
one,
amigos.
oh, the guy
El
from
que vende
Tupperware,
Tupperware,
the
como
one
si
that
fuera
sells
indigno vender
Tupperware, as
Tupperware.
if it was unworthy
se han
to sell
burlado
on
de mí
Tupperware. Of
18
course,
años y
they've
los 18
made fun
años
of me for
mis
18
amigos
years,
no han
and these
podido
18
hacer ni
years,
el
my
uno por
friends
ciento de lo
have
que yo he
not even
podido
made
hacer.
1% of what
Tengo
I've been able
50 y
to do.
tantos
I'm
primos.
50 some,
Ninguno
I
de
have
ellos
50
hace mercadeo en
some
red conmigo.
cousins,
¿Saben cómo
and
les
none
va
of them
económicamente a los
does
50
this.
y
Do you know
tantos?
how they're doing
Al
economically at
99,
50 something?
98% de ellos no les va ni el
98% of
1%
them
bien de como
don't
me
even
va a mí.
have the 1% of success that
Pero
I
la
have.
gente
But
tarda, Rachel,
people
la gente tarda
takes,
meses
Rochelle,
o
people
años
takes
en
months or
entender que
years
lo que tienen en
in
las manos
understanding that
es
what
una
they
joya.
have in their hands
Es la mejor
is
oportunidad que
gold.
jamás
It's
haya
the best
existido en la
opportunity
economía
that
mundial
it ever
actual.
existed in the
Y que la
world's
gente
economy
tarda
right
en
now.
sentir
And people
orgullo de
takes
esto, tarda en
in a
creérsela.
while in
Y
believing
como
in
no
this,
te la
taking pride
crees,
in this. And
hablas de
since you
esto
don't
con
believe
pena,
this,
bajito,
and then
para
you
que nadie
talked
se
about
entere.
this feeling
No me vayan
embarrassed
a
so that
criticar,
no
no me
one can
vayan a
hear me,
juzgar,
so
no
that
me
no
vayan
one
a
can judge
señalar. Qué
me, so no one
vergüenza
can
ser el
point
que vende,
fingers at me.
qué
It's
vergüenza ser el que está en un
embarrassing to
multinivel,
be
cuando
in
es
the
la
multi-level
profesión
when
más bella y mejor
it's
pagada
the
del mundo.
most
Escuchen bien lo que les acabo
beautiful
de decir. Más bella y mejor pagada del mundo.
profession
Y como
in
yo
the
la
world.
veo así desde mi día
And
uno,
since
Rachel,
I see it
yo
like
entré a
this
esta
since day
compañía
one,
porque el
then
producto me cambió
I
la
started
vida.
this
Es
company
la
because the
primera
product
vez que un
changed my
producto
life.
me
It's the
cambia la vida.
first
De
time that
todo
a
lo que
product
yo había
changes
vendido,
my
que
life.
habían sido muy buenos
Of
productos,
everything that I
esta es
sold
la primera
before,
vez que un
which
producto
were
me
very
cambia
good
la vida.
products, this is the
Y
very
por eso
first
entré.
time that the
Después me
product changed
enteré
my
que era
life. That's why I
multinivel.
went in. Then
Después te
afterwards,
busqué
I heard it was multi-level.
junto con mi
Afterwards, I
hermano
reached out to
porque
you along with
dije,
my brother
vamos a hacer algo grande, le
because I
vamos a dar
said,
con
well,
todo,
let's do
vamos
something
a hacer que
else.
los
Let's
latinos
do everything
estemos
and
unidos
let's
y no en
make
equipos
the
separados.
Hispanic
Por eso
world
te buscamos.
together, not
Y
at
cuando
different
te
teams. That's why we
buscamos,
looked for you. And
yo me
when
di
we
cuenta
looked for
qué
you, then I
pedazo de líder
noticed
que eres.
that
Qué
you're
maravillosa
such a
comunicadora
great
eres. Bueno,
leader.
sí,
You're
ya
a
sabía
great
porque ya te había visto
communicator.
en
Well,
la
of course, I
tele.
knew already because I
Entonces
saw you
dije,
on
por
TV.
primera vez en mi vida
So
voy
for
a
the
tener a
first
alguien
time in
con
my
quien
life, I
jugar,
said,
porque para mí
I'm
esto es
going
como
to
un
have
juego de
someone
fútbol.
to play because this is like a
Alguien a quien
match, like a
si
football
ella
game for
habla,
me. If she
wow, todo el
talks,
mundo dice, qué
then everyone
locura.
says, whoa,
Y
this is
todos los que nos están
crazy.
escuchando que
And
te tienen a
everyone
ti,
that's hearing you
que
who
eres la
have
líder de este
you, that are
equipo,
the leader of
que
this
no
team,
tienen tus habilidades
that
porque
don't have
tú
your
llevas
abilities
veintitantos años
because you've
dedicándote
been
a hablar en
25
público,
years
en este modelo de
doing this.
negocios,
In this
todos los que
model
estamos
of
aquí
business,
podemos
everyone that is here
cobrar dinero gracias a que
can
tú
get
hablas
money
sin que yo
thanks to the
hable,
fact that you
sin que yo diga
talk without me
absolutamente
saying
nada. Y tengo a la
anything at
mejor
all.
comunicadora
And
del
I have
mundo
the best
haciendo el trabajo
communicator
para
in the
mí, para que
world
mi equipo
doing the
crezca.
job for me,
Yo que
so
no sé
my
hablar,
job,
yo que
so
soy
my
tímido, yo que
team
nunca he hecho
grow.
esto,
If
te
I'm
tengo a
timid,
ti
that I
y
haven't
tengo un
talked to
producto que no
people
falla
ever,
y tengo un
I
gran
have
plan
you,
de
and I have a
compensación
product that
y
doesn't
tengo una
fail,
app
and I
y
have a great
tengo, o sea,
compensation plan. I have an
tenemos
app,
todo.
and we
Lo único
have
que tengo que hacer a la
everything.
gente es
The
ir a
only
pegar
thing
un
that I
pase.
have to do is to
Santa
people
María
go
de
and give them
Guadalupe, jamás en la
a
vida había habido
patch.
algo tan
Oh
sencillo
my
en la
God,
historia
there's
del mercadeo
never
en red.
been something
Y en
as
este equipo
easy
lo hay
as
todo.
this in the
Pero te
network.
tengo una noticia.
But we have
¿Cuánta gente
everything
tienes
here.
en tu
But I
red?
have some news for you.
Miles.
How
Mira
many
los
people
que
you have in
estamos
your network?
conectados.
Thousands. Look at
Lo
how
232,000
many we
mismo
personas.
have
que digo
here.
yo
¿Dónde
Yeah.
todos los días.
demonios están
Yeah, it's the
las
same thing that
otras
I say
miles de
every
personas?
day.
¿Sabes dónde
Yeah,
están?
thousands of people.
En
Do
un
you know where
trabajo
they
de
are?
mierda que les
In a
pagan
shitty
de
job
mierda y así les van a
with a
seguir pagando porque
shitty
esto que les podría cambiar la vida
pay stub,
lo
and
toman
they could stay
como
like that.
algo
But
poco digno.
if
Y
it's
como lo
something that
toman
can
como
change
algo
in
poco
them,
digno,
then
este negocio
they
les
feel
va a
like
seguir
this is
pagando
unworthy.
poco digno
And
porque eso es lo que
since
merecen.
this is not worthy, then they're going to get
No, no,
unworthy payment because
totalmente
that's
de
what they deserve.
acuerdo contigo.
No,
Me
I
estaban
totally agree
preguntando
with you.
acá,
They were asking me
porque,
here
y ahorita quiero
because
que me cuentes un poco y comentes tu experiencia con el
now that you're
producto
telling me
como
your
tal, porque tú
experience with the
tenías un
product as
dolor
such, because you
impresionante,
had
como bien
this
mencionaste tú.
impressive
Tu
pain, as you
experiencia primero
said.
fue con el
Your
producto,
experience
después
was
supiste
first
que
with
era
the product, and then
que
you
era un
learned it
negocio
was a
típico
business.
que obviamente
And
empezaste a
of
preguntar,
course, you
¿viste? Y
started
después llegaste a
asking,
nosotros.
and then you
Y la
got to
gente nos está
us.
preguntando, ok,
And people
¿qué
is
era el
asking,
dolor que
okay,
tenías? ¿Cómo
what is
fue
the
tu
pain
experiencia
that
con el
you had? What was
X29?
your
¿Cuál
experience
fue tu
with the
testimonio?
X39? What was your testimony?
Yo soy paracaidista hace 25 años y
I'm a
tuve un
parachuter
accidente en un
since
túnel
like
de viento como
25
ya he
years ago.
contado aquí
I
antes.
had an accident in a
Caí como de
wind tunnel.
3 metros y
I
medio,
fell
un
from
golpe
like
fuertísimo. En estos
3.5
9
meters.
años, mi dolor
I had
cada
a very bad accident, and my pain was increasing and increasing. The last 6 years became unbearable. I went to every single doctor and hospital in Mexico, pain clinic. They injected on my nerves every day. Don't do it ever. It hurts terribly and it doesn't work. I bought every product, Instagram, Facebook, everything. I went to the jungle to get the venom of animals. Didn't work at all. Just listen to me. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to. Um,
de empresas de mercadeo en red que me dijeron que me podrían ayudar
I
en mi
bought
espalda.
every single
Nada me
product that someone
sirvió.
said
Y
that
de
could help
repente
with my
llego
back.
con un
Nothing
parche
worked.
que
And then
parece un
suddenly,
band-aid cuando lo abrí
someone
dije, madre
came with a
mía,
patch
una cosa más en
that
la que
looks
pierdo
like a
movilidad, pero
bandit,
no
and
pierdo
I
nada
said, "Oh
con
my God."
utilizarlo.
Another thing in which I'm going to lose my money, but I don't have nothing else to lose. 72 hours, 99% of my pain was gone. What happened or what I thought when my pain was gone after 9 years and trying everything, $240,000 I invested in my back for 9 years. So you can imagine then I get a patch of $100 and takes the whole pain away. And how long did it stop the pain? In 2 hours.
En 2 horas.
In 2 hours. And today, and also, I have some news for you. Today, it's been 3.5 months without pain, and today, for the first time in all of this time, I forgot to wear the patch. And guess what? I haven't had pain at all. But a little while that I noticed that I didn't wear the patch, I was terrified. I was scared. I got scared. And I talked to Esteban because we were in another Zoom, and I was like, hey, I didn't place the patch, all scared. And then he says, like, what? And you're having pain? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, you're healed. I don't think so. I think I have to keep on using it. It's a process, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Mira, no, porque sé que son las 5:37 y no quiero
Look, it's 5:37 and I don't want to because we're here. And obviously, all of the product, we have the testimony from you, the experiences that you had, that definitely mentality, everything is super clear. Everything that we were saying, we talk about this every day. From 3,000 and some people in the organization, we have 235. This is what it is. So we work with the team for those objections, for mentality, for that mindset, to structure activity or actions that you do every day to be able to get to the result that you have. And then you are in presidential and you're close to BSPD, and with the numbers that you have, with the leadership, what actions would you recommend to every single person that's here that they can do so that they can start making their numbers grow and build a business inside of this industry, which is wonderful. I agree with you. I love this industry 100%. So what would those key actions be that can tell them that they can do? I don't know if Esteban wants to take Well, I'm going to talk about something more general, and maybe Juan Carlos can share the answer with something much more specific, talking about LifeWave. But for me, all of this has to do a lot with three things. The first, if you do your own evaluation, because you have to remember something. The CEO of your company, who is? Raise your hand. Who's the CEO? And the reality is, someone said one day, if everyone was like you, if everyone did the same thing that you do, how many people would you have in your organization? And there are people who said a lot. Like Rashel said just now, a lot. And there are others that would have one, that would have 5. Because how many patches have you had? How many products have you sold? Because how many presentations have you made? Because how many people do you have in your list? Because how many people have you called? Because how many people did tell you? And then you became happy because you knew that you were going to have a yes. So when you have something very clear, I talk about 3 things. The 3 E's, well, the 3 C's, the first, or the 3 bases, the belief. And this is a mind play. I have to play of how to want faster. Who agrees with me that based on your beliefs, everything else is going to come? And first, believe in you. How much do you believe in you? How big do you believe that you can do whatever you have to do? Do you believe that you're attractive enough so they can become your partner? Because at the end of the day, they don't enroll with the company. They enroll with you. They enroll with your belief. And the second thing is, how much do I believe in what we talked about, in the product, in the company, in the industry? How much do I believe in the team that we have, in the movement that we're doing to impact? When you're clear in those levels of belief, I'm going to tell you something. who believes in everything I just
Y
said.
les voy a decir una
And I'm
cosa
going
que
to
es
tell
bien
you
importante.
one
¿Ustedes
thing that is
creen o
very
creen?
important.
Porque
You
todos
believe
los
or you
días,
think you believe
absolutamente
because
todos,
every day, absolutely
podemos
every
elevar nuestro
day,
nivel de creencia.
can
El nivel de
raise
creencia
our
no tiene un
belief
tope.
level. The belief level doesn't have
¿Y qué tengo que hacer
a
yo como
limit.
líder? Porque
And what
cuando
do I have
me
to do
firmé
as
como
leader?
líder,
Because
me
when I
firmé
got
como
enrolled, I
CEO, me
enrolled
firmé
as leader,
porque
as
tengo una
CEO,
intención clara,
because I have a
es
clear
tengo que buscar
intention,
cómo creer
is
más
I
rápido.
have to look for a way
Tengo
to
que
believe faster. I
obsesionarme
have to
con
get
mi creencia.
obsessed
Tengo que
with my
meterme a ver
belief.
más
I
videos de
have
YouTube
to
de
go and watch more
testimonios. Tengo
videos
que
of
meterme
YouTube
a ver más Zooms,
testimonies.
aunque
I
no
have
tenga
to watch more
invitados para
Zooms, even
creer
if I don't
más.
have any
Tengo que
invitation,
emocionarme con el
any people
resultado de un nuevo
invited.
manager, de
I
un
have to get
director.
excited with the
Tengo que
result of a new
emocionarme con el
manager, of a new
resultado de
director. I have to
Rachel,
get
de la
excited
señora
with
que tiene 80 y
Rachel's
pico de años que
result,
es despedida.
with someone
Tengo que
who's
emocionarme
85
con el
years old
nivel
or
de
some.
creencia, porque la evidencia del éxito de una persona evidencia que yo también lo puedo hacer. Y
With the
tienes que
level
decirlo.
of evidence, and you have to say
Entonces,
that to
cuando
yourself.
crees en todas estas partes,
So
viene la
when you
otra parte
believe
muy
in all of
importante.
this, then
Si la
there's
gente
something
se
very
asocia
important.
contigo, te
If people
pregunto,
associate with
¿cuál
you,
es tu
let me
visión?
ask you, what's your vision?
¿Qué sucede si yo
What
me asocio
happens
contigo?
if
¿Qué
I
tú
get
harías por
associated
mí
with you? What would you do for me
en los siguientes 90 días
in
si
the
es que yo
next
tomo la
90
decisión
days
de ser
if
parte
I
de
make the
Lifeway?
decision of
Y si
becoming a
no
part
tienes
of
una
LifeWave?
respuesta clara,
And if you don't have
entonces
a
estás
clear
vendiendo
answer,
patches.
then you're selling patches.
Pero si es que tú sabes
But if
exactamente
you know
a dónde
exactly
vas, cuánto
where you're
tiempo te va a
going,
tomar,
how
cuáles
long
son
it's
las
going to
acciones que vas
take
a
you,
hacer,
what are the
y la
actions that
gente
you're
a la
going
que
to
vas a
take,
impactar
and the people who
producto
you're
de
going to
asociarme
impact
contigo, entonces vas a empezar a inspirar y vas a dejar de
by
vender.
me associating with you, then
Por
you're
lo
going to
tanto, la
inspire
siguiente C
people and you're going
es
to
crear
stop
una visión.
selling. So the next one is
Si creo lo
creating a
suficiente en
vision.
todo
So if
esto,
I
voy a crear una visión.
believe enough in all of this, I'm going to
Y
create
la
a
tercera
vision.
C
And the
es la
third
C de
C is
compromiso.
the C of
Es la C
compromising.
de compromiso a
The
través de
C
una
of
decisión.
compromising through
Y
a
dicen que la
decision.
decisión tiene que ser
And
decisiva,
people say
determinante y
that the decision
definitiva.
has to be
Porque hay gente que se
determinant and
inscribe, toma una
definitive
decisión de
and
poner la
decisive,
tarjeta de
because
crédito Visa,
sometimes people
Mastercard,
just get
American
enrolled.
Express. Eso
The
no es
credit
decisión.
card, that's not a
Una
decision. And putting
decisión
a credit card is not a decision.
verdaderamente
A
real
decision, a
es una
truly
decisión que va de la
real
mano de esa
decision, is
creencia que
a
tengo, de
decision
esa
that
visión
holds
que
hands
tengo y
with
de ese
that belief that I
compromiso de que
have, with
no
the
voy a parar
mission that I have,
hasta
with the
lograr
commitment
los
that I'm not going
resultados
to
que
stop
quiero lograr
until I
en
get
el
the results that
tiempo
I want to make
que me he
in the
decidido
time
lograr. Eso es
that
una
I
verdadera meta.
decided
¿Y sabes
to
qué?
make that.
Ponerte
And that's a
metas
goal.
que te
And
saquen de tu
setting
zona de
goals
confort.
to
Y si
make you
tenemos todo
leave
eso junto,
your comfort zone.
adivinen
If
lo
we
demás
have
es
all of
parte
that
del día a
together,
día,
then
porque yo
the
ya tomé
rest
una
is just part of the
decisión,
day,
porque yo ya sé
because
para
I
dónde
already
voy
made a
y porque
decision,
creo lo
because I already
suficiente
know
en
where
todos
I'm
los
going, and
ingredientes
because I
que tengo
believe
que
enough in
poner
all of the
para
ingredients that
que
I
la
have to
gente se
have
una
so
y
that
se
people
inspire
can
con lo
join
que voy
and
a
get
hacer.
inspired in
Dejé
what
de
I am
vender,
going to do.
empecé a
I
inspirar y
stopped
empecé
selling,
incluso a
I
conectar
started
con
to
las
inspire,
personas que
and I started
también
to
quieren lo mismo,
connect
porque el
with people who
universo,
also want
Dios,
the
quien
same
tú
thing,
creas,
because
te va a
universe, God,
juntar
whoever you believe
a
in,
las
is
personas
going to
correctas
get the
en
people
base a la visión
together
que tú
in the right
tienes.
people
Y
based on the
absolutamente
vision that you
nadie
have.
que quiere
And
algo grande te
absolutely
va a
no one
asociar
who
con
wants
alguien que
something
tenga
big is going
sueños
to
y metas
associate with
pequeños.
someone that has
Entonces, ¿qué
small
gente quieres
dreams
tener en
and
tu
small
equipo
goals.
para
So what
depender de
kind
lo
of
que
people do you
transmites?
have in your
Y
team?
ahora Juan
It's
Carlos te va a
going to
contar un
depend
poco
on what I
más
just said.
de
Now, Juan
nuestro día a
Carlos is
día
going to
y de
tell
nuestras
more
acciones.
about our
Sí,
day
qué
to
bueno,
day
qué
and our
demasiado. Me
actions.
encanta eso y yo creo que
Yes,
de
I
esto,
love that, and I believe that
Esteban, personalmente, hasta que yo no
Esteban,
entendí eso que tú acabas de
personally,
explicar
until
y
I understood
empecé
that, what I
a
just
aumentar
said,
ese nivel de
to
creencias y
increase that level
eliminar las
of
creencias
beliefs and to
limitantes y
eliminate the
trabajarlas y
limitant
enfrentarlas, como
beliefs
decías
and
tú,
work
yo
on
amo el
them and
ejercicio
face
de
them. As I said,
autoevaluación.
I
La
love
mayoría de la gente se
the
la pasa
the
autoevaluando a los demás, no
self-evaluations.
evaluando a
People
los
just
demás, pero
evaluate
no
others,
autoevaluándose
but
ellos
not
mismos. ¿Qué no estoy haciendo? ¿Qué me
self-evaluating,
falta? ¿Qué
but
visión
not
tengo?
themselves. What am I
Muchas veces
doing? What
no
am I
saben ni
missing?
para
What
dónde quieren
mission do
ir,
I have?
solamente se
Sometimes they
dejan
don't even know
llevar
where
por
they
la
want to
ola que
go.
viene afuera.
Sometimes they just
Oh, ahora están
let
hablando del
themselves
parche.
carry
Ah,
over
mañana
and
es
so, oh, now they're
pharmacy. Ah,
talking
mañana
about
es
parts.
Demonat.
Okay,
Ah,
tomorrow
pasado es
Monad,
de
tomorrow
Manatec, que no sé de
then
cuánto más.
Manatech or
Claro,
pharmacy. I
siempre
don't know how many there
compañía,
are.
pero si tú
Of
de
course,
verdad no
always
te
companies. But
crees
if you
que lo
really
puedes
don't
hacer,
believe
que eres
that you can
capaz
do
y
it,
empiezas a
that you're
trabajar en eso
capable of, and
diariamente,
you start
es
working on that that daily, it's impossible. And that is like the core, the base, the foundation to be able to get to the number, the rank. When you develop that, the rest is going to come together because your daily activities, you said something wonderful. I don't know if you, but I'm taking a lot of notes here. It's when I do in my daily living, and the rest is part of my day to day. What's part of your day? What's part of your day? Just check that out. And if you, for example, Lifeway makes it part of your day at 6 p.m. when it's training, then you're wrong. If it's only part of your day when you do 2 calls and they said no, and you stop calling for 7 days, then it's not your day to day. You don't have the vision and the belief. So, Juanqui, how do we complete all of this foundation that comes from everything you were saying and everything aligns with what you were saying now with an action plan that maybe for them it can be like very clear and doable, just the way you are?
Mira, las cosas que a mí me cambiaron la
Look,
vida.
the things that changed life for me right now while I was hearing you talk, I'm here taking attendance to see who of my team is here.
Sí, 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 ahí está. No, pero aquí
Yeah,
muchos
we
han
heard.
puesto mis líderes, así que sí,
Yeah,
pasa lista, pasa
someone
lista.
people's like, yeah, my leaders. Yeah. Call attendance. Yeah, but I am taking attendance one by one so you can understand me. Why am I going to say this? Because I've learned a lot.
Todo el mundo necesita ayuda, pero no todo el mundo la merece. Atención con lo que acabo de
They
decir.
need help, but not everyone
Todo el
deserves it.
mundo necesita ayuda,
Everyone
pero no
needs
todo el
help,
mundo
but
la
not
merece.
everyone deserves it.
Entonces,
So,
en mi negocio,
in my
yo
business,
apoyo
I
a
support
todos porque esa
everyone
es la labor
because
del líder de
that
un equipo
is
como tú nos
the
apoyas a
leader's
todos.
work. You
Tú no
support
dices,
everyone.
mira, Juan Carlos está
You don't say,
trabajando,
okay,
déjame lo
look, Juan
apoyo.
Carlos is working,
Pero
let me
Federico
support
no
him.
está
Oh, but
trabajando.
Federico
Ese
is
güey lo
not
voy a sacar del
working.
chat.
That dude, I'm
Seguramente ahí
just
lo
going to
tienes en
kick
el
him out
chat
of the
a
chat.
Federiquito, que
Surely
no
you
hace
have Federico
absolutamente
in the
nada,
chat who
¿verdad que ahí
doesn't
está?
do absolutely anything. So he's there, right?
Ok, yo también
So
tengo a Federiquito
I
en mi
also
chat.
have Federico in my
Y no
chat.
tengo un
And
Federiquito,
I don't
tengo
have a
muchos
Federico. I
Federiquitos.
have many
Están
Federicos who
guardados en el chat,
are
escondidos en
saved
el
in
chat,
my chat,
mirando
hidden
cómo
in the
todos los
chat,
demás,
looking
todos los
how
días nos
everyone
rompemos la
else
madre,
every
nos
day
conectamos a
break our
todo,
backs,
tenemos que dejar a
connect to
nuestros hijos
everything. We have
esperando
to leave our
y lo
kids
que tengan que
waiting,
esperar porque
whatever they
estamos
have to wait,
construyendo un
because we're
sueño.
building a dream.
¿Ok? Entonces, número uno,
So, number
felicitar
one,
a los de mi equipo que están aquí.
I want
Ya
to
pude juntar toda la
congratulate
nota quiénes
the
son
team
y felicitar a todos
members,
los
my
que no
team
son de mi
members that
equipo
are
que están
here,
acá. Porque estamos
and
en un negocio
congratulate everyone
tan
that is not from
sencillo,
my
pero
team that is
tan
here, because we
sencillo,
are
que
in
lo
a
único que
so
tienes que hacer
simple
para
business
ganar
that the only thing you
es
have to do to make money
presentarse.
is show up.
El 90% del éxito
90%
es
of success
presentarse.
is
¿Qué hago en mi
show
día a
up.
día?
What do I do
Me
in my
presento
daily day? I show up
todos los días a mi
every day
negocio.
to my
Ay, Juan
business.
Carlos,
Oh,
todos
Juan
los días.
Carlos, every
Es que
day,
fíjate
but
que
it's just look,
yo
I
tal día
have
voy
to,
al pádel,
that day
tal
I
día
go
voy a la
to the panel, or
gimnasia,
I
tal
go
día
to
me
the
toca
gym,
el
or
dominó con mis
I
amigos. Eso
have to
sí lo
go to
tengo
see
para
my
comer,
friends. Of
pero
course,
voy.
I don't have
Los
enough to
viernes me
eat,
voy de
but on
fiesta
Fridays I go
y
to
los sábados
parties, and then
también. Y
Saturdays
los domingos
too,
no me llamen porque
and
veo el
Sundays don't call me
fútbol
because I
y estoy
watch
viendo cuatro series.
game,
No, hombre,
and I'm
Game of
watching for
Thrones, Juan Carlos,
Game of
está
Thrones.
buenísima, güey.
Great.
No me pierdo
Um, I
un
don't miss
capítulo.
one
No, y no se
chapter.
diga la historia de las Kardashians, me las sé
And the
todas.
Kardashian
Entonces, como
story,
la
I
gente
know them
tiene sus
all. So
prioridades, en la
since
mía
people
no.
have their own
Lo dije
priorities
o lo
on
pensé,
the
pero ya lo
gutter,
dije.
did I
Como
say it
la
out
gente
loud?
tiene sus
So
prioridades
since
en
people
un
have
lugar en
their
donde no te
priorities
pagan
in a place
absolutamente
in which
nada
you don't get
y
paid
como no las
absolutely
puede cambiar
nothing,
porque el
and
fin de
since they
semana
can't
es para
change it because the
descansar.
weekend is to
Yo no
rest,
descanso los fines de
I
semana.
don't rest on the
Yo
weekends,
trabajo los fines de
Rochelle.
semana.
I
Yo
work on
trabajo
the
el domingo
on
como
the
tú.
weekends. I
Yo
work
trabajo
on
el lunes
Sunday,
como tú.
just
Yo
like
Tú
you.
trabajo
sabes
el
que
martes
yo
I
como
work
tú.
on
hacerlo
Mondays, just
también.
like you. Yeah,
Tú
you
sabes.
know we
Trabajé,
do too.
trabajé en Navidad, trabajé en
Yeah,
Año
I
Nuevo.
worked in Christmas, I
Pero
worked
el ser humano
in New
común
Year's
dice,
Eve, but
no, 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 espérame.
common
Ahorita
human
del
beings like, no, 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 no,
16 de
wait.
diciembre
From
al
the
15 de
December
enero,
16 to January
pues ahorita no me
15th,
hables porque como
well,
el
right
mundo ya
now,
se
don't call me
paralizó,
because the
yo también
world
ya
is
me
stopped,
paralicé.
then
No me
I'm stopping
hables.
too.
Te tengo una
Don't
noticia.
talk to
Nosotros
me.
del 15
I
de
have
diciembre al
news for
15 de
you.
enero
Since
llegamos a un
December
rango
15th
antes del
to
SPD,
January
cuando
15th,
todo el
we go
planeta se
to a rank before the
paralizó,
SPD
tirando la
when the whole
flojera,
world
como si,
stopped
como si
being
todo el
lazy,
planeta fuera a
as
heredar una
if the
fortuna
whole
de sus
world
papás.
was
Como
going
yo no
to
voy a heredar
inherit some sort of a
absolutamente
fortune.
nada de mis
Since I'm
papás,
not going to
yo
inherit absolutely
trabajo
nothing from my parents,
como
I
si
work
la comida de mis hijas dependiera de lo que yo
as
hiciera.
if
Oye, güey,
the
sí
food
depende de lo que
of
tú
my
haces. Ah,
daughters
caray, sí, ¿verdad?
depends
Sí
on what I
depende de
do.
lo que
Oh,
coman mis hijas
wait,
lo que yo hago.
it
Pues
depends
yo
on me.
trabajo
So
así.
then I
Yo
work like that.
trabajo
I
todos
work
los días
every
con esa
day
actitud.
with
Y
that
la gente no
attitude,
lo hace.
and
La gente
people
no se
don't.
presenta.
People don't
Entonces,
show up.
¿quieren saber cómo
So, do you
hacerle?
want to know what to do?
Preséntense.
Show up.
Porque les voy a decir algo.
Because I'm going to tell you
Alguien como
something.
Rachel y como
Someone like
todos los líderes que
Rachel
hablan
and
aquí,
like every
estamos
leader that talk
dejando
here,
una
we
parte
are
importante de nuestra
leaving
vida
an
a un
important
lado
part of
para venir
our
a
life
compartir
to the
con
side
quien
to
nos
come
quiera
here and
escuchar
share
cómo le
with
hicimos.
those who want to listen to us. What did we do? What is the action? Do we have to feel proud of this or embarrassed about doing this? Little details like this that you hear in every Zoom are very important because they can change the whole perception of your business. And in the moment in which you change perception and you stop feeling embarrassed, then this business is going to become in something that you've dreamed about all the time. Because if this business is paying to Mary $190,000 per week, then why not to you that you're listening here? With all due respect to the Mary, with all Rachel's respect and everyone that make a lot of money, they don't have absolutely nothing that don't have. They don't have anything that the people here don't. Oh, it's just Rachel was in TV. Mike didn't. Me neither.
Sí, pero igual te digo algo. Cada vez que la gente
let me tell you
dice
something.
eso, a mí
Every
me
time
encanta.
people
Yo
say
tengo
that, I love
muchas
that.
personas que
I have a
trabajaban en
lot
la
of people
televisión o han
that used
trabajado
to
en la
work in the
televisión
TV
y no
and,
hacen nada en
you know,
multinivel, porque
and
eso
they
no
don't do
tiene nada que
any
ver con la
multi-level
fama,
because this
eso
has
tiene
nothing
que
to do
ver
with
con el
fame.
trabajo en
This
equipo.
has to do
Y
with teamwork.
si tú no vas a
And
trabajar en
if
equipo,
you
si
don't go
tú
to
no vas
work
a
or if you're
presentarte
not
cada
going
día,
to work as a
puedes
team, if you're not
tener
going to show
10
up every day,
millones
you
de
can have
seguidores.
10
Nada va a
million
pasar, my
followers and
friend.
nothing is going
Y
to
siempre
happen,
lo
my friend.
digo, pero yo sé que esto
And
es un
I
secreto.
always say it. Yeah, like every influencers that have millions and millions of followers and they don't get any money at all. Oh, but of course, they have millions and millions of followers, and that only works if you give them a service, and then you have a way to get money out of it. If not, it's just not use. Have it very clear. So any of you could be making whatever you wanted if you were very serious about it. If you take it as, imagine this, David Smith invested $4.5 million just for the X39. You did not invest anything to be able to keep the 33% every time you sell. You didn't invest any money. And since you didn't invest money, then you don't care much about it. I'm going to give you a homework. Today, go to bed thinking that out of those $4.5 million, you borrowed $2 million to the bank because you didn't have them. Imagine that you borrowed $2 million to the bank. With what commitment and intensity and craziness would you connect to everything to recover those $2 million that you borrowed from the bank? How serious would you be? Do you think that the thousands of people that Rochelle has in the team wouldn't be connected here if they would have borrowed $2 million for this technology? But since it didn't cost you anything to go in here, then in your mind, you think it's a little business because it didn't cost anything for you to go in. But let me tell you something. Mike Hernandez is making $60,000 a week, and the only cost that he has is what, $200 of two patches, $200 a month. That also he wears them for himself, and he's making $60,000 a week. What does Mike Hernandez have that you don't? Oh, Juan Carlos, he's Latin. I think all of you are. Oh, it's just he was born in a family or in a place in which there were no opportunities. Let me tell you, if everyone here is Hispanic, then all of you were born in a place in which, since we were born, the first word was not mom and dad. Do you know what was the first word that we heard? We heard crisis. Because since we were born, our countries are in crisis. Well, we were born in a country or in an economy in which there is absolutely nothing, in which we've had to look for hope under the stone, and we have to manage ourselves, and we've had to survive in countries and governments that you already know how they are. I'm not going to get into that. And look at yourselves. Today, we have a first world opportunity as Hispanic, living wherever we're living. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep taking it as another hobby? Or are you going to keep giving it the 10% of your attention? Are you going to keep feeling embarrassed of being multi-level just because you have a degree and a master's degree that didn't give you anything except for a job that didn't take you anywhere? For the love of God. That's what you have to do. show up to everything. And just to finish this part, just to wrap up, two very important events are coming this week and next week. I wonder myself, I ask myself, how many of you see as priority one to be in that business? Don't answer to me. You don't have to put it on the chat. If this was a top one priority, you would be there. That's it. For 99% of the people, it's not a priority to be in the event. To be in the event, probably you're going to listen one or two or three people who make enormous amounts of money explain how they did that. And those people who make that amount of money that don't have to be in the event, they're going to leave their family and their time to travel to a place and tell everyone that wants to show up how they did it to make $190,000 a week. I don't know when in your life or a friend of yours that makes that kind of money. Surely you don't. But when they did, if they did, when did they take the time to teach you how they did it to make $190,000 a week? And if someone is doing it and you are not buying a ticket to be there, then I don't have anything else to say.
Así mismo.
Yeah, just
Mira,
like that.
¿sabes qué es lo que me encanta? Y yo veo a todo el
Look,
mundo
you know
está
what I
ahí,
love?
pero,
And
oh
I
my
see
God,
everyone
es
is
que quiero
there.
este
It's like, oh my
entrenamiento, quiero
God,
este
this, I
entrenamiento.
want this
Eso
training,
está
I
muy
want this
bueno y me
training.
encanta la energía, qué
This is
chévere que toda
great,
la
and I
gente
love
dice.
the energy. It's
Pero
great. I love the people in
lo
the
que
chat.
pasa es que la
But what
mayoría
happens
viene
is
a
that
los entrenamientos,
most people
a los
come here to
eventos,
the
esperando una
training, to the
fórmula
events, waiting
secreta.
for a
La
secret
realidad es que la
formula,
fórmula
and the
secreta no
reality is
existe.
that
Hay
the
una
secret
fórmula.
formula, it doesn't
Hay
exist.
que darle con todo y hay
We
que
have
presentarse,
to
como
give
bien dice
everything
Juan
to this,
Carlos.
and you
Y si
have
tú
to
ves,
show
se
up, as Juan
repite
Carlos
en los
says,
líderes
and
con los que hablamos y con
it's
los, porque
repeated in
yo
the
hice lo
leaders that
mismo
we
cuando
talk
entré
to,
dije,
because I
Mike,
did the
y vi
same
los
thing when
números
I
de Mike,
started. I
¿qué
was like,
hiciste?
Mike, I
Gina,
saw your
sí,
numbers, and
¿qué
I asked,
hiciste?
what did you do?
Joy,
Gina, what did
¿qué
you do?
hiciste?
Joy,
A
what
todos
did
los
you
que
do?
están en los chats,
Every
¿qué
single person
hicieron?
who is
Porque
like
era
up there,
binario, yo nunca
it's
había
like,
hecho el
what did you
binario y
do?
cuando
Because it
vine a
was
ver,
binary. I've
oh,
never done
es lo
binary
mismo
before. And
que
when
ya
I
yo había
checked it
hecho
out,
antes.
it's
Que
like, oh,
cómo
it's
lo
the
que yo
same
había
thing that I
hecho
did
antes
before.
puedo
How is
hacerlo
it
ahora
that
con
when I
excelencia,
did what I did before,
mejor
I
porque ahora
can
tengo
do
más
it with
experiencia? Y
excellence
vamos a
even better
darle.
because I have more
Ahora hay
experience?
que
And
ser como
let's
los
do it.
caballos.
Now we
Dale
have
para
to
adelante,
be
es lo mismo que
as
siempre
the
hablamos. Entonces no estén
horses, go
buscando, chicos,
forward. So
una
don't
fórmula
look
secreta.
for a
¿Cómo
secret
lo hicieron
formula.
ellos? Bueno,
How did
de
they
la
do
manera
it?
que
Well,
ustedes podrían
in the
hacerlo
way
también
that you
ahora.
could
¿Qué
do it
ocurre
too.
cuando se
Now,
termina el
what
entrenamiento?
happens when you
Nadie
finish the
hizo nota y
training?
si las
No one
hicieron,
took a
se
note,
ponen
and
una
if you
gaveta
did,
y mañana,
then
primera
you
vez que
save it
salgan todos
up, and tomorrow,
entusiasmados,
the first
el
day you go
primer
out
no
there
se
all
derrumban.
excited, the first note,
Entonces,
you just
eso
scramble.
no, somos
So
nosotros los que tenemos que
it's
trabajar
us
en
who we
cada
have to
cosa
work
que tenemos
in
que nos
every
impide seguir
single thing
avanzando.
that
Si
we
no pasarán
have
los años,
that
seguirán
stops you,
viendo
stops
entrenamientos
us from moving.
pensando que ahí está la solución cuando la solución está en
If
la
not, you're going to
aplicación
keep going
de
to
lo que
do
me dijeron
trainings
cada una de las
thinking
personas que
that
lo
the
ha hecho
solution is
y que
there
siga
when the
haciéndolo.
solution
Ellos
is
empezaron,
in
empezaron
doing
nosotros, yo creo
what
que
they told
nosotros
me to do.
llevábamos
I
3 meses
think,
cuando ustedes
well, we've
empezaron,
been
¿verdad,
three
Esteban?
months. We
3
had
meses.
3 months
Estábamos
when you
nuevecitos,
started.
Carlos y yo,
We were brand new,
cuando
Carlos and
empezaron
me,
ustedes.
when you
Empezamos
started. 3 months.
4 de noviembre, justamente hoy
Yeah,
son
November
90 días.
4th.
Correcto.
Today it's
Hoy son
been 90
90 días.
days.
90 días y ya,
Yeah, 90
ya
days,
están,
and
están ya para despedir, les
you
queda
are ready
nada
to
para hacer
SPD.
despedir.
You're
Y ojo,
nothing
eso
to
no se
SPD.
dice.
And
Quiero decirte que nuestro
yeah,
plan,
I
y por
want to
eso
tell
nos
you that
llamamos
our plan,
U90
and that's why we are called U90X. Our plan was to get to SPD in 90 days. We're late, my dear Esteban. We fell asleep in the river, but
Amén.
the
Y
idea
así,
is
yo
to
sé que
get
están
there
ahí, ahí
in
a la
90 days.
nada,
I'm
pero
sure you're
yo
there
del lado de acá,
very
lo
close
que
to it,
veo
but
de
over
el
here on my
equipo
end,
y
what I
de
see of
ellos
the
y
team
el
and
equipo en
of
general.
them
Y
and the
ustedes, claro,
general
somos el
team,
mismo
and of
equipo, pero
course
digo,
you, we're
este
all the same
tipo de
team.
liderazgo y de
But these kind of
características
leadership and
es que todos los
characteristic
días
is
están
that
hablando del
every
negocio.
day they're
Todos los
talking
días
about the
están
business. Every
escribiéndonos,
day
hey, tenemos
they're
gente nueva,
typing to
hey,
us, hey,
queremos
we have
hacer,
new
hey, queremos
people,
un
hey, we want to
entrenamiento,
do
hey,
things, hey,
queremos
we
hacer
want to
esto, cuáles
training,
son
hey,
los
we want
eventos,
to do
tenemos
this.
que ir,
What are the
queremos
events?
hacer.
We have to go,
Entonces
we have to do
pregúntate,
something.
haz una
So ask
autoevaluación,
yourself,
como
do
bien
a
mencionaba Esteban.
self-evaluation, as
¿Qué no
Esteban
estoy
was
haciendo de
mentioning.
todo lo que ellos
What
están
am I not
diciendo?
doing
¿Qué
of
es lo que
everything
yo
they're
no sé?
saying?
¿Por qué
What
no
is
me
it that
creo
I don't
capaz?
believe?
¿Por qué no le doy el
Why I
poder? Y la
don't feel
verdad, eso es un
capable?
arreglo que tienes
Why
que
I
hacer
don't
tú
invest the
contigo
time?
mismo o
And of
contigo
course, those
misma.
are things that you
Nadie te
have
puede
to
hacer
do
eso.
with yourself. Why do I feel
Exacto.
embarrassed?
¿Por qué me da pena?
Exactly. Why do you feel embarrassed? Yeah, what is it that makes me feel embarrassed of what I do? What makes me feel embarrassed of having this technology that has removed the pain of 20 years of for a lady of 80 years old? What makes me feel embarrassed of having a technology that has been able to control blood sugar and has changed the life of that person and their loved ones? What makes me feel embarrassed of helping someone to lose weight who've tried everything, got to us and lost weight, cleaned his organs, stopped taking all of his medications? Where in all of this I have the unworthiness or the shame? In what part of all of this is the embarrassment? Can you please explain that to me? Because I feel, look, the the luckiest man in the world. I feel like if God came down and told me, do you remember the movie of Arturo and the Knights? Do you remember those dudes that were killing each other to find that the eternal youth fountain? Here you have it. Go and tell the world that you have this eternal youth fountain. I feel like extremely proud, but 98% of people feels ashamed because they didn't go to school for 5 years and they don't have a stupid title of a stupid college that says that they are a professional. So I don't feel worthy. So I feel ashamed of being criticized, of being pointed at. How someone like me is going to end up selling patches online? That's so unworthy. Oh my God.
Pues hacerse todas esas
Well,
preguntas hoy, mi gente
let's
bella, ya son las
ask
6, a las
yourself
7 tenemos que
all of
terminar,
those
tenemos
questions.
otro
We have to
entrenamiento.
finish at 7
Así
because
que
we have another
managers,
training.
prepárense,
So
porque ahora voy con
managers,
ustedes.
get
Así
ready
que
because now I'm coming
prepárense
to you.
muchachos, gracias
So
por el
get those
tiempo, Juan
guys
Carlos,
ready and
Esteban,
thank you for your
felicidades,
time,
de
Juan
verdad.
Carlos, Esteban. Congratulations,
Somos,
really.
es un
We
honor, un
are,
privilegio poder
it's an
trabajar y
honor, it's a
aprender de
privilege to
ustedes
be able
también,
to work
porque
and
yo,
learn
Carlos y yo aprendemos
from
todos los
you
días de ustedes. Así
because
que
Carlos and I will
queriendo
learn
sigas
from you
llevando y aquí
every
estamos como
day.
siempre hacemos y gracias
Let's
por este tiempo para que el
God
resto del
take care
equipo
of
también
you.
escuchara esta historia,
And
estas
we're
historias que
here
son
so that
reales
the team
y
could hear
pues
all of this
poder duplicar de
um,
lo que ustedes nos comentaron. Gracias de verdad
stories
los
and
dos.
to be
Los
able to
queremos mucho.
document what we did. Thank you both and thank
Bye.
you so
Bye,
much.
chicos.
Gracias a ti por invitarnos y
Thank
gracias a
you
todos los
for
que se
inviting
conectaron.
us and
Ustedes son
thank
los que
you
hacen la
everyone who's
diferencia.
in here. You're the one
Gracias.
making the
Toda la
difference.
diferencia.
All of the
Gracias a
difference.
Bye, muchachos. Nos vemos. Nos vemos mañana. Cuídense
Bye
mucho.
guys, thank you.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Take care.